Let's open up an Artsnacks art box. This is a mystery art supply box that is $69 and they come out with 4 a year. This one that I'm unboxing right now is the summer 2024 version, and I am going to try to make an art piece entirely out of supplies from this art box. And I could not get over how smooth this zipper on this bubble pouch was. I had to open it and close it twice. Now, first thing, it came with this sketchbook, which I've never tried this brand. The paper is not as thick as cardstock paper, but it is pretty good. It's pretty smooth. I think that it will hold up pretty well to a lot of mediums. The next thing in the box was a water brush, which I have a bazillion of those sitting around everywhere. I very rarely use them, but I will use it today. The next thing I got was this water-soluble graphite crayon. And I've never used one of these before, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It came with a holder for the water-soluble graphite, which I struggle with a lot. To get the crown to fit inside there, I had to look up a video even to figure out how to do it, and still, I don't know if I did it right. It feels like it's stuck in there, but for now, it is what it is. It's fine. This box also came with a Montana acrylic marker, a pink one, and I have a couple of these markers, and I really do like them. They are pretty good. And of course, it came with a little snack, hence the name Art Snack Box, right? Then it also came with these fine liners, which I am not a huge fine liner user. I have been wanting to get into using them more because I really do love the way they look, but I have just not been able to master it. I am just not that kind of girl. I just don't have that kind of control over my lines, and I just kind of want to be that girl. So I'm happy to get these. And the last art supply that came with this box are these King Art brush markers, and they are water soluble, so I'm excited to be able to mess around with that. I think I'll be able to make some watercolor effects with that, so that's pretty exciting. So like I said earlier, I definitely had to look up a video how to get this water soluble graphite crown into this holder, but even though I had to struggle with this, I do appreciate the fact that I got this because this thing was very messy on my hands. It was kind of like a charcoal. It's a 6B, so it's super soft. It's easy to make a mess with it, so the holder is a really nice thing to have for me personally. So now it's time to move on to swatching, and I wanted to start out the swatches with the art supply that I was most excited about, and that was the brush pens. I love a good brush pen. And as you can see, it didn't bleed through the back, which is really good. This color palette is definitely not one that I would usually pick for myself. So already I'm being pushed out of my comfort zone with not only the supplies I've never tried before, but also the color palette. But we shall persist and try to make the best of it. So whenever I'm swatching, I try to get an idea of how not only the materials will work on the paper I'm using, but also how the supplies will work together. So I wanted to try to blend a couple of these brush markers together with the water brush pen, and it kind of works, it kind of doesn't. It's not great. It doesn't fully get rid of the line. It does help transition a little bit, but it doesn't fully get rid of the harsh line that is there. Kind of like you can never fully blend out the edge of where you put down a brush marker, and that's fine. It's cool. I think you could still get some really cool effects just with that. But the supply that really surprised me was the water-soluble graphite crown. That thing was so easy to reactivate with water. I can definitely see myself using that for shading and stuff. I think that is a really cool tool that I am going to use in the future for sure. Now, when it came time to actually use the supplies, I am not gonna lie, I was a little bit scared. This is not a set of supplies that I would pick to use on my own free will, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and I am going to try my best. So I'm going to be a little bit honest here. I did cheat a little bit because I did use a regular graphite pencil to do the sketch because I was not about to try to sketch with this big giant crayon. I mean, honestly, I hope you can forgive me for that little cheating moment. I think it was necessary for me to make anything decent. So after I came up with an idea, I sketched out this little cat, and I thought it was so cute with all these different flowers, and I thought all the flowers included would be a good way to use all of the different colors and really just make it easier on myself so I didn't have to make a stylized picture with a really cool color palette. This was just an easy way for me to get this out of the way. I used the graphite crown to shade this cat, and I was so surprised. It was really cool because I could build up the darkness if I wanted to. If I just wanted a little bit of darkness, I could just draw a little tiny little bit of scribbles right in that area and then go back over it with the water, and it would just really soften it up. And if I didn't like how light it was, I could go back in after it had dried and just do it again and make it a little bit darker with another layer. And this worked out so well. I am not typically the kind of person that works this way, but I really enjoyed working this way. It made it so much easier for me. Normally I paint with gouache, and I don't know, it doesn't really work like this. This was a nice little surprise to me, so I think I am definitely going to be using this graphite crown in the future. I think that this graphite crown would be so good to sketch out your drawings onto a canvas. If you are working on a canvas and you need to put down a sketch layer, I think this would be really good because not only is it really big, but you could really lighten it up with some water if you got it too dark in an area or something like that, or just soften up the sketch in general. I think that would be really cool to use. And you may have noticed that I originally started out the flowers to be all yellow, and I was going to put a pink center in them, but I went over to the one on the left and started drawing with the green. I thought I could blend it out a little bit better with the green on the flower and make it a little bit more seamless. But whenever I started doing that, the green really was just kind of sitting on top and not really blending, and it looked kind of weird in my opinion. So I went and did the only thing that I think I could do, and I got the pink acrylic marker and started over the yellow, which worked out great, really. And this paper, honestly though, did not really like the paint marker. It was pilling a lot. I think that this paint marker definitely needs a thicker paper that is more sturdy for this, but all of the other supplies worked so great on this paper that I would just use them all again, but just not use the paint marker next time. And I was going to originally leave this cat as just like a white cat with a little bit of shading, but I was having so much fun using this water-soluble graphite crown that I could not help but make it into like a tabby cat, which I am so happy with the decision to do that because it looks so cute. I love the texture that I was able to get with this. I think it really adds a lot to the piece. In my opinion, it looks a lot better than it would have if I just left it as a white cat. Let me know what your opinion is, if you like the white cat better or if you like the tabby cat better, because I really would love to know what you guys think. Did I improve it or did I make a mistake? I don't know. I think I improved it personally. So after I did all that, I went in and softened up some of the stripes and stuff with the water pen, and I didn't go full out because I do really like the texture that I was able to get with the graphite crown on the stripes specifically. I just kind of kept a little bit of texture there, and I love the way that looks. I think my first art snack box was a resounding success. I am very surprised I was able to do this with the unlikely supplies that I received in this box. If you do want to pick one of these up for yourself, I will leave it linked in the description. They did give me a 10% off coupon for you guys to use. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Bye.